Good morning and welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much again for all those that have reached out. Thank you, appreciate it. So today I just want to continue again. We're continuing with day 6, which was Tuesday, March the 28th, which was the walk from Bredasdorp to Swellendam. Okay. Last I spoke to you, I told you guys about how I just made it by the grace into Bredasdorp, where I actually was met along the way, around 15 k's outside of Bredasdorp by my brothers in faith, and obviously how they supported me. So what I forgot to mention was when we got to Bastion guest houses, we had a big, well, I don't say party, but essentially, yeah, we had a little bit of a meet and greet and eats. So again, thank you for those brothers. What you were able to put together, the welcome that I received, again, it was amazing. So I really do appreciate it. Now, one of the main ones that was in charge there is the actual rector of Bredasdorp, Sean Andrews. So he actually surprised me on Tuesday, the 28th, March 28th. He surprised me because he said he looked the night before when we left. When I said I'm gonna go sleep now, he said he would love to pray with me the next morning, right? So like guide me on the way. So I was grateful for that, for the fact that he would stand up so early because I'd be leaving at like past 5. So anyway, the next morning at 5 o'clock, he was there, made him a cup of coffee, and as we were sitting and chatting and just telling him about my day and what I'm going to do, because I knew I had about 73.1 kilometers from Bredasdorp to Swellendam. Okay, so I knew it was going to be a mission because the day before the walk to Bredasdorp itself, that was 65 plus minus kilometers from Pearly Beach. So the day before was already a heavy mission, so I knew this one would be just as difficult. But nevertheless, we have a cup of coffee when we're praying, and then he turns to me and he says, "You know what? I'm gonna go with you today." And I look with him, I'm like, "Are you gonna walk?" He's like, "Nah, I'm not gonna walk. I'm gonna drive with you. I'm gonna be a support car." Unknown to me, unplanned. Amazingly, he drops this on me, and I'm hit here in the heart. I'm beyond, right, because I knew for a fact that the day before that bag, and also the pains and problems I was having in my feet at this point in time, I was concerned that the 73 kilometers that again, based on the previous night's performance, I would probably be getting into Bredasdorp past 8, almost 9 o'clock. So for him to say he's going to be my support car, amazing. He takes his phone out, he phones his boss. I don't want to say too much of where he works, but he phones his boss. He's like, "Yo, this is the situation. I'm gonna take a personal day. I'm gonna accompany this brother on his way." And he does. He does. He chucks my bag into the boot, and from 5 o'clock, we leave about quarter past 5. Getting to his car, we just drove a kilometer outside because the B&B we were staying at was quite in the residential area, so it would have been quite a bit of a way. So we drove to the outer limits, the city limits, or the border, just as you coming out of Bredasdorp. So we drive there, and yeah, I think it was the Karstervier, if I remember correctly. That was the official starting point. I'll post the video. I think he was uploading quite a bit of videos, but yeah. So I'm walking. He takes my bag and he lets me go. And I'm walking with just obviously my jacket, my water bottle, and my stick. Oh, I want to mention that quickly. Um, for me personally, those that know me, I'm not big on weapons. I don't really personally believe in guns or knives or anything like that. I feel me, the person that I am, I might end up using those things and it do more harm than it's protecting or that's supposed to stop. So when I was planning this walk, obviously my wife was concerned, my wife and family and friends was concerned about walking alone in, well, unknown territory. So they wanted me to take some kind of a weapon with me. So again, as I said, I refused. I didn't own like this. Don't want the gun. Don't want the knife. Don't want nothing. But I settled on the stick. Now you might have seen it on the videos and things. Now this is a stick that I use with the dogs. Now, before anybody comments, I don't hit the dogs. This is more deterrent for the other wild dogs in the area. So when I walk my dog, I have the stick with me. Again, just to stop any other wild dogs. So the thinking was I'll take this stick with me and then, use it as a deterrent. So as I'm walking in the area, dogs and those that have bad intentions can see the stick and think twice about trying something with me. So I had the stick for the last 4 days, and honestly, I never really felt the need to use it. I walked through quite a few areas. I didn't again feel the need to use it. But anyway, why I'm bringing up the stick right now is I don't know. You guys can probably already see what I'm about to discuss is the writing. So the night before, at Bastion, one of the Bredasdorp brothers. Okay, I hope this is not going to be backwards, but this is all their names. These are all the brothers that wrote their names. Everybody that was there that night, and they even gave me a little song. And this was the first night, NAC Bredasdorp. This was the first night that they started writing on my stick. And every person that I've seen, or every congregation that I was at, or every person that I met along the way, wrote on the stick. So again, just to read some of the things, right? Um, okay, as I said, for Bredasdorp, I've got Psalm 23, verse 4, which is here, blessing and protection prayer. Um, where is it now? I've got quite a few verses, but what I want to just discuss is, you see, all of these people, this is a few people that we're still going to discuss. As I said, there's Bredasdorp, um, there's my people from Swellendam. I don't know if you can see, but yeah, I didn't feel scared walking with this thing. It's too short to be a walking stick, so I literally just chucked it over my shoulder and I was walking, so to rest my arms as I was walking. But we continued walking, and it was really good having company, right? As I said in day one, when me and Dave walked, it was good having conversation. Now, the way Sean worked it out is we would leapfrog, right? Obviously, because of his car overheating or petrol being used, it wasn't going to be smart for him to basically ride or cruise next to me. In fact, his car wouldn't engage cruise control under a certain kilometers, and I was walking about 5-10 km, really not fast. So we decided no, rather he's going to leapfrog. So he'll ride a kilometer ahead and then wait for me, and I'll catch up with him, and then again he'll ride on a kilometer, and so we'll do for the whole day. We'll bounce, 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 right? So the morning, not really eventful. As you leave Bredasdorp, you walk past beautiful fields. Again, massive farming area, beautiful properties. I was again greeted to a beautiful sunrise. I walked there. Again, you feel small in the grand scheme of things. This long open roads with nothing and nothing and nothing. The the road outside Bredasdorp leading to Swellendam, uh, Sean told me it's not used much. It's actually just used by the long distance trucks. Uh, I don't know why. Forgive me, I don't know. But this road, you could literally go hours before you see anybody, right? Um, I could walk in the middle of the road. I remember walking at one point, round about in the morning still, walked at one point as I'm going down this crest, this dip, right? I'm walking down, and there is No one on the field as far as the eye can see to my right. No one on the field far to the left. In front, no cars coming whatsoever. But behind me comes this massive flock of birds, right? I'm talking about, if it could have been more than 100, probably 300 or whatever. This massive white birds. Again, I don't know the name of birds. I am not that smart. But as I was walking down the main road, these birds weren't flying in the air. They were flying literally about a meter from the ground, from ground level. They were flying along the road, because there was no cars. They were on the road, and they just flew past me. I can't explain it to you. It was about 2 to 3 minutes, probably even longer than that. Me in this cloud of birds just buzzing past me, flying past me. It was an ethereal experience. I say so because, again, like I told you guys the other day, uh, there was, when I saw that caracal, that rooi cat, there was no danger aspect. There was mutual respect. We were coexisting at the same time. Those birds didn't see me as a threat. I was just there as part of nature. And I'm telling you, you won't believe how you feel being that close to nature, being that part of nature. This was my morning start, when I have these birds flowing around me. I have the sun coming up, warming my face over here. I have this beautiful vistas, amazing fields, ponds. I saw ponds. I saw all the animals, all for livestock that you can imagine: sheep, goats, cows, so forth. I saw beautiful wild horses. But I walked there, and as I said, every time when I would catch up to Sean, he'd be a little bit of a cheerleader, essentially. He'd root me on. He'd say, "Come on, you can do it. You got only 60 kilometers left." A couple of hours later, only 50 kilometers left. now I know you feel that he was doing good, but I'm telling you to be constantly reminded that, you know, there's still 60, there's still 50, there's still 45. You know, it it's a good thing, but it's also like, okay now. But it was good. It was good having a companion, right? We broke to have breakfast. Again, more apples. I'm so sick of apples, guys. I haven't eaten an apple since I got back. I haven't eaten an apple. I'm done with apples. I ate more apples in that 10 years than I've ever eaten in 40 years of my life. So no, thank you. But we have breakfast at the back of his car. We're sitting there, and again, just surveying and just looking around and enjoying the morning. He should have been at work, but he was here with me. I should have been at work somewhere, but I was there. The way the world worked, the way situations work, right? I ended up being there. Now, I didn't want to be in debt. I didn't want to have the situation that I was in. I didn't want that. I mean, nobody wants difficulty. But when we in a situation, it's the decisions that we make that define us, right? The decisions that we make that guide us, that takes us on the path. If you'd asked me a year ago, would I have ever been in Bredasdorp? Nope, I wouldn't. If you'd asked me a year ago what I thought about Bredasdorp, I probably would have said something very wrong in terms of my perceptions of a dorpie. Having met the people, having spent some time there, having walked in the area and seen the area, I love the peacefulness, the quietness. I'm a city boy, born and bred here in Cape Town, you know. Lived in Kraaifontein most of my life. Currently living in Parow. There's a mall that way, there's a mall that way, there's a mall that way. You know? Inland City 5 minutes, Paris Center 5 minutes, Grand West 5 minutes. I'm a city kid. I'm used to all these amenities around me. But to be out in the middle of nowhere with nothing, to see these farmhouses, right? Um, to see people just walking, just at ease. Okay, I didn't see much people that morning at the moment. It was beautiful. We continued further on. As I said, Sean would constantly ride forward and then wait for me and he'd play music loud. And it was a good motivation. As I said, whenever the spirit is feeling down, you give a little bit of a cheer up. We discussed quite a lot. I learned a lot about him. We shared a few experiences as ministers, as fathers. You know, I'm still coming to coming to for a visit at that in Gansbaai. I want to go fishing. I want to go catch fishing. Yeah, still a plan. Still a plan. Still a plan. But yeah, I continued walking on. Um, it's just really nothing in the middle of nowhere, right? But the fact that I didn't have this bag, this weight on my back, the fact that I knew that there was somebody watching over me, that's accompanying me, gave me a little bit of peace of mind. And I think it gave Washila also peace of mind for her to know, because the night before when I phoned her, I had actually broken down because I was in that much pain. I was crying. Um, and for her, the fact that I wasn't alone, especially because this would be my longest, the longest section, 73 kilometers. So yeah, it was going to be a task. But we were making good time. We were making good time. Before I knew it, we were already about 30 kilometers into it. We got into the middle of nowhere, honest to God. I can show you guys on the map, but again, there is nothing of nothing. It is just wide open roads. So, again, you walk there and you have all these thoughts with you. And one of the thoughts that struck me most is the walking. Now, I'm now known as the guy who walks. True. But again, our family was always the family that walks. We never had a family car growing up. My dad never drove, still can't drive. Never drove. So my mom would take me, my brother, my two sisters, we would go to church walking. People always commend and comment on the fact that come rain or shine, we would be walking, you know. Walk to school, walk to the station, walk to work. When I started my first job at Tiger Valley, um, living in Brackenfell, I used to walk to Tiger Valley because I couldn't get a lift with anybody. I've always been able to walk. I've always walked. Um, when me and my family, we worked hard and long to be able to can buy our car, right? And when we got to Cadet, it was beautiful. It gave convenience, which I'm sure most of you know, and so easy to take for granted. But when we bought the car, and unfortunately when we had our accident in 2019, being left in that situation again, now you was out of car, now you again don't know what to do. The one thing again that I could do that was in my control was I could walk. And again, I've done it. For the last 4 years, I've walked. We've walked to school. I've walked to church. Luckily, it's just around the corner here. We've walked to the malls. As I said, I live quite in the middle of three um, malls. And even with my children, when we didn't have transport, I would walk them. Now, I'm not saying this for any other reason other to say, give a little bit of background in terms of why I walk. There's not much in my life that I can control. lots of the things is outside of my control. Yes, I have made a few foolish mistakes or decisions that have resulted us in us being here. However, you can't always control the way your life is wanting to go. I tried and I put myself into quite a bit of a depression a few years ago when things didn't go according to my plan. So, as I said, the one thing that I've always been able to can control is myself, is I can walk. You don't have school transport? Walk. Don't have a taxi to work? Walk. Don't have a taxi to go shopping? You're gonna go buy your groceries? Walk. Carry the bags, walk. When I was in the situation, when Washila came to me and said that we have to pay this fee for Unisa, when all the stress and everything was on my brain, and I was freaking out, and I didn't know what to do, again, God said, walk. And I walked. And I thought of all of this as I was walking that day. Sean told me that he was quite impressed and moved. And a lot of people remarked to me about how they are so impressed and, they moved. But I want to tell you guys, for me personally, I never felt and never saw it. As a father or as a parent, if you love someone, you will do whatever you can, regardless. Right? These were my children. This is my family. This is my wife. I would do whatever is necessary. I need a haircut. I continued walking and we made good speed. In fact, along the way, during the day, I actually finished my water because it was quite a hot day. Sean's wife and his son actually popped up along the way to come and give us water bottles. Thank you. I never got to say thank you, Sister Andrews, you and your son for driving out, coming along the way. I mean, we were almost 40 k's, 50 k's outside of Bredasdorp, and you guys still were rocked up there and brought me water, brought me energy. I think it was still a Jungle Oats berry bar. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Sean, thank you. We continued on till about 15 k's outside of Bredasdorp. Excuse me, outside of Swellendam. And again, it was getting late. It's like past 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. I was on my way to go and meet the rector, Priest Bartman of Swellendam congregation. He was my contact point, and I'd be staying with Priest Nolan Prince. So I'm about 10 k's outside, and I start running. Again, just a light jog, nothing too bad, But I'm jogging, and it's getting dark now. And at this point, the roads are quiet, so Sean is really cruising next to me. Because we close to our end goal. I remember as I was running, I actually met a guy named Nicky. This young guy who was coming back from visiting his girl. There's a informal settlement along the way just before you get into Swellendam. Forgive me the name. I'm losing the name for a second. But I get him, and he tells me no, he just was by his girl for the weekend. And then Monday, and this was another Tuesday, and he's not going home because he has to go work again. So, but I'm running, I'm jogging, and he decides to jog with me, and we jogging and we're talking, and he tells me also about his situation. He tells me also, they also want to get married, they also want to start a family, but again, the distances, and this is something that he wants to do because he wants to see he will walk. And again, it's just the experiences are made once again, right? Everybody, every person that I've touched along the way or met along the way has got another story. So we continue running till just about 2 kilometers outside of Swellendam. You get into an industrial area, so I had to turn left into the industrial area, and then he continued straight on to wherever he's gonna go. So we continue running and running and running. Sean's next to me, and we come to the outer limits of Swellendam, and there's a little board that basically welcomes you into Swellendam. And I get to this board, and I tell you guys, the moment I stopped, I collapsed. Everything, blood, everything just fell through. I collapsed on the floor. I collapsed on the floor. This was actually the just outside. Now we were supposed to continue on to Bispartman, which would have been a couple of 100 meters because he literally lives up the road from the sign. But as I'm collapsing there and our car standing there, Bispartman actually comes past and they see us sitting there on the floor. They saw us sitting there on the floor. So Sean actually handed me over to Chris Bartman, and Chris Bartman says, "Look here, they're waiting for me. He's gonna take me through." So I get into the car. We throw all our stuff, my stuff across. I say thank you to Sean. He's not gonna take the long drive back, 73 kilometers back to Bredasdorp. I thank him. I give him a hug, wish him well, and I get into the car with Chris Bartman. And I get on the back seat and I'm telling you guys, everything is so because everything is now pulling stuff because now I'm not moving. Now we drive and Chris Barker says, look here, we first gonna go stop at the congregation. It's choir practice tonight. It's Tuesday night, it's choir practice. Just to go say hello to everybody. It's one of my favorite songs there. God will work it out. Maverick City. Love it. But yeah, so we come there to Relton congregation and the choir practice is on at the moment. And I'm sorry for the guys that disturb your practice, but we stop at this church. It's a beautiful triangle shaped building. I walk in and the first thing I see when I open up the front door is stairs. The church's main hall is not on the ground floor. It is upstairs, a flight of stairs. My legs at this point is cramping. It's already pulling tight. I can't deal. But yeah, I make it up the stairs with these stiff legs and I come to a congregation, a beautiful congregation first and foremost, and a lovely little choir, small in number but big in sound. The way they were singing, I swear it was a bigger congregation, bigger choir. But I sat there, met them, the priest introduced me. Um, we had a few moments of discussion and chats, just asking about things, meeting everybody again. Thank you guys for allowing me to come spend a few minutes with you guys. It was amazing. So we should praise, and he says, after we finish praying, we're going now to Priest Nolan's house. That is my accommodation, my house for the evening. Come to his house, and again, thank you. The home is filled with people, friends, family. The few priests are sitting there, they're all waiting. Again, I'm looking at this and I can see some of their names: Priest Bartman, Priest Jerome van Staden, Priest Nolan, Prince, Relton Congregation. You know, people just writing it on here. Priest Walter Conrad. You know, I still have the stick, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You see? Relton congregation. For everybody that was there that night. For all the youth that was there that night. For all the priests that was there that night. Manine, for Nolan. Thank you guys for opening up your house to me. I had an amazing evening. I wish I could have eaten more. The food smelled and looked amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All I remember is I was so dehydrated. I drank that whole decanter empty. I have never received such a beautiful welcome. No, I want to say never, but I had such a beautiful welcome. I enjoyed staying there with you guys. I wish I could have sat with you guys. We had such an amazing discussions. Me and the brothers, the rector, the priests. To all of you, I wish I could see you again soon. I so badly want to come through. I pray things open up the way God opens the way so I can come through again and experience your area once again. Sit in the divine service in your word. Just visiting you, bring my family so they can meet you guys. Just I feel that this is all necessary. I did the 73 kilometers. I got there around 8 o'clock in the evening. Um, quarter to 8. Got a quarter to 8. I made very good time. Very good time with the assistance. 15 to 16 hours is no joke. I wouldn't have been able to do it without Sean. So again, thank you for getting my bag. 30 kilograms off my back. It gave me that chance to recoup. After everybody left, in fact, I actually went early to bed. Uh, got into bed, had a shower with the most sorest body ever. Even the drops was hurting. But I was home for the night. Had a lovely double bed that was mine. And funnily enough, everything was going good until load shedding decided to tell us, okay, get to bed, get to bed. So yeah, that was basically day 6. Thank you to everybody that made it a success. I was halfway there, another 4 more days to go. Join me for the next one. Thank you guys.